So our favorite failed Republican candidate, Crazy Lake, has done an interview recently with Piers Morgan on his show, and it goes off the rails by the end of it, and we hear Crazy Lake floating some really crazy theories as to why Trump is innocent in his Mar-a-Lago dox case. Okay, but before we get into that, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel because it helps us out a lot with the algorithm. All right, so let's jump into it here. Kari Lake on Piers Morgan, some really intriguing stuff here.
I've spoken to, and we're just hearing, by the way, breaking news, Donald Trump has pled not guilty to these charges. But most people I've spoken to, from a legal point of view, describe these charges, as indeed Jane Weintraub just did, as exceptionally serious and certainly way more serious than the charges relating to Stormy Daniels and hush money payments. So what is your response, having read the indictment?
Well, you're right. We've never seen this happen before because we've never had someone as corrupt as Joe Biden sitting in the White House, turning our government against our people. We've never had someone like Joe Biden, who is in fact a criminal himself, who's taken bribes from the CCP, who's taken bribes from Ukraine and many others.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there for a second, and I'm actually going to fact check Kari Lake. So she's saying that Biden's taking bribes from the CCP. Biden's taking bribes from Ukraine. There's no evidence of any of this. In fact, the House Republican report finds no evidence of wrongdoing by President Biden. This article from the New York Times is from May 10th, 2023. It says, after months of investigation and many public accusations of corruption against Mr. Biden and his family, the first report of the Premier House GOP inquiry showed no proof of such misconduct. After 4 months of investigation, House Republicans who promised to use their new majority to unearth evidence of wrongdoing by President Biden acknowledged on Wednesday that they had yet to uncover incriminating material about him, despite their frequent insinuations that he and his family have been involved in criminal conduct and corruption. At a much preliminary findings of their premier investigation into Mr. Biden and his family, leading Republicans released financial documents detailing how some of the president's relatives were paid more than $10 million from foreign sources between 2015 and 2017. Republicans described the transactions as proof of influence peddling by Mr. Biden's family. But on Wednesday, the Republicans conceded that they had yet to find evidence of a specific corrupt action Mr. Biden took in office in connection with any of the business deals his son has entered into. Instead, their presentation underscored how little headway top GOP lawmakers have made in finding clear evidence of questionable transactions they can tie to Mr. Biden, their chief political rival. So the House Republicans have admitted that there's nothing on him. So what the heck is Crazy Lake talking about? This is why she deserves to be called Crazy Lake, and I don't feel bad about it or sad about it at all. Because when you lie and lie and lie, and you say crazy shit that is untrue, and you just want to say it over and over and over again until it becomes true, well, you deserve a name like Crazy Lake. So I'm going to go ahead and skip forward here to about the 150 mark.
The documents he has have not been declassified, something he always said he'd done, which many lawyers say is just a fait accompli right there, that he's admitting himself that these are not declassified documents, and he's sharing the details with other people.
So what Piers is talking about here, in case you're unaware, is a leaked audio in which Trump information in a document related to a missile strike on Iran, meaning that he knows that how classified information works.
I sure wish they would share what these documents are. They're being very mum about what's in them. I'm really curious about what's in them. And Piers, there's more evidence of wrongdoing and crime, frankly, on Hillary Clinton's servers. There's more evidence of crime in Joe Biden's garage, in those boxes where he had no ability to declassify those documents. Because
okay. So I'm going to stop it there again. The Biden's docs case is not been, a conclusion has And in Hillary Clinton's case, it was decided that there was no criminal wrongdoing. Okay, did she mess up? Yes. Did she make mistakes? Yes. Nothing criminal. Okay, I mean, how many times do we got to go over this? She didn't commit any federal crimes, which is why she was never attempted to be prosecuted.
She was a senator and a vice president. And frankly, there's more evidence of a crime on Monica Lewinsky's dress than in those boxes that were pulled from Mar-a-Lago.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it there.
Didn't.
You know what? The president has the right to take the items from the White House. It's happened with Obama. It's happened with previous presidents. It's happened with Bill Clinton. They have the right to do that, and presidents have the right to declassify documents. They don't even have to announce it. They can just think about it.
Okay, so another fact check here. They can just think about it. They can just think about declassifying it. Well, it turns out, Times article, I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to read the whole thing, but it says, can a president secretly declassify information without leaving a written record or telling anyone? That question, according to specialists in the law of government secrecy, is borderline incoherent. If there's no directive memorializing a decision to declassify information and conveying that decision to the rest of the government, the action would essentially have no consequence. Departments and agencies would continue to consider that information classified and would continue to treat it as a closely held secret, restricting access to records containing it. So it's a logical mess. This manner, said Stephen Aftergood, a secretary specialist with the Federation of American Scientists. So she's acting like it's a done deal. Oh, they can just think about it and declassify. It's not legally decided one way or the other. And the issue of classified president's ability to declassify has never been legally challenged in any significant way, or even at all, as far as I'm aware. So to act like president can in fact think about declassifying documents and they're just declassified, it's just simply untrue.
And they can be declassified. It doesn't matter. This is a bogus case, and you know what it is? It's really just a way, Piers, to give cover to Joe Biden, who just this week we found out took another $5 million bribe and payout from the CCP. And we have 17 recordings of him, according to Senator Grassley, on tape being recorded taking bribes and payouts from Ukraine.
Okay, so we've already debunked the bribe stuff. We don't have to spend too much more time on that.
But hang on, Kari. If he's convicted, is it really realistic that Donald Trump, as a convicted felon on serious federal charges, would continue to run for president or indeed win the White House, which he couldn't be in?
Piers, you haven't been in the States recently to find out just how corrupt our government, from top to bottom, this government is corrupt. The judicial branch, the DOJ, the CDC, the FBI, this entire administration is corrupt. And Donald Trump is an innocent man. We know that.
Oh, they weren't. It didn't seem like the FBI was corrupt when in 2016 they were chanting the FBI. But now that the FBI is going after their guy, they don't want the FBI to have power and to have the ability to lock somebody up anymore, I guess. But when it's Hillary, yay, FBI.
That this is just another witch hunt.
No, you believe that. We don't know that.
Ever since he got into office, it's been one thing after the next to give you guys something to talk about.
Stop talking about you guys like we're all the same. I don't have anything in common with a lot of the media that you have this big problem with. But what I would say about this is I read the indictment. These are serious charges.
They are.
And I don't think that the special counsel who's leveled them can be deemed to be a partisan guy. So there's a possibility Trump gets convicted. So my question again, if he is convicted, should he or could he run for office?
You can indict a ham sandwich. Conviction is a whole other story. and he should run for office. He's not going to quit. Donald Trump is the only person standing up for we the people. Our government has turned on us right now. We have an illegitimate Joe Biden sitting in office.
Okay, let's pause that there. Illegitimate Joe Biden. So where's the legitimate Joe Biden? Where's the legitimate Joe Biden? Did they clone him? I mean, wow. Just wow. So I'll go ahead and fast forward a bit here. 8:54. Good.
Criminal is sitting in the White House right now. He doesn't even know where he is. His name is Joe Biden. He has taken tens of millions of dollars of bribes, and they're trying to deflect and put the attention on Trump to give you in the media somebody to talk about and something negative to say about Trump.
All right, so and Piers Morgan starts to lose his patience with Kari Lake, with Crazy Lake a bit.
Just for the record,
like the media
Kari,
has been for 8 years.
Kari, just for the record, I haven't mentioned Biden other than when I've responded to you. So when you say you, the media, like we're all being some collective blob, it's like me saying you politicians, as if you're all the same. You're not. So stop calling me you, the media. Anyway, I've got to leave it there, but it's always a joy to catch up with you.
You do work for one of the big... You work for one of the corporate giants. You work for Rupert Murdoch, and I understand he is for making sure Trump doesn't get into office. And, you know, that's who signs your check, Pierce. So you got to go along with the company line. And the company line under the Murdoch empire is anti-Trump.
I have had absolutely no instruction from anybody at Fox to have any opinion about anybody. That's just not what happens there. You might think it does. Nobody has ever said to me what I should say about Donald Trump. It's worse than you think.
Oh my God.
I say things I actually mean. I'm one of those guys in the media.
I've worked in the media for 30 years under one of these corporate giants. I won't name who. And so I understand the subtle pressure you get.
All right, listen, Kari.
Crazy Lake going into therapist mode and putting her best therapist voice on, saying, I understand the pressure that you get to lie to the people, as he's literally saying, I'm not directed to say anything by anybody. She's going, no, I understand how it really is. Forget what the facts that you're telling me and your experience. I'm going to tell you how it really is. And I know the pressure. I understand, Piers. God, what a smug, ignorant woman. Props to Piers Morgan here. I'm not the biggest Piers Morgan fan at all, but I feel like he held his own in a good way and was able to stand his ground. And I'm glad that he was at least attempted to stop and fact check her and to interject when he could to sort of push back against some of the crazy narratives spew out so quick, and they go over here to over here to over here. It can be hard to stop and say, okay, let's unpack and figure out this last thing that you were just talking about, when there's already a new topic and a new diversion being thrown into the conversation or into the interview. So yeah, wow, just really, really insane stuff here. And Arizona, be happy that this woman did not win the election, because wow, it would have been an absolute disaster. For you guys on this one, I want to thank you so much for watching. Again, to the channel, it helps us out a lot with the algorithm, and I hope you guys have an